Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining our time. This is the fourth session, but it says the third session because the first session was kind of just like it was the zeroth session because it was just a revision of all the A1 topics. Today we have five things on our agenda. First, we will try to learn a new verb called as werden. We'll see how you can use it in two different ways. We'll talk about future, and the other way is to talk about things that are changing in state. It will make more sense when we look at the examples. The next one is we will learn some prepositions. Uh, I mean, in this A2, I'm just supposed to introduce some of them to you and you learn all of them in B1, but there is nothing wrong in learning something that is above your level right now. So we'll learn all the prepositions that you can use. These prepositions, I think I already helped in those who are in A1, we already learned this in A1 as well. If then it will be a revision for you. Then, the third topic is I don't think it's. Many of you will learn this like on the go when you are interacting with people in German. But I think I should just point it out. When to say ein, when to say eins. Okay. Then we'll do exercise where we'll try to frame simple but useful sentences. And if we have some time, we'll do the vocabulary. Okay. Any questions, please ask. Otherwise, we will start. Okay, so here you see the slide and you see that I have written around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sentences in English. What I want is whoever wants to try, can you try to say these things in German? So at least you can say the first two, if not the other one. So how do I say the first two sentences in German? Anyone who wants to try?
Yeah. Can I try?
Yes, please.
I get an email. Ich bekomme eine email.
That's correct. Next one.
You get acknowledgement. I'm sorry, acknowledgement. I don't know the German word. So
Okay, then just use acknowledgement as it is and frame the sentence.
Ihr bekomme du bekomme acknowledgement.
So,
Du bekommst du acknowledgement.
yeah, that's correct. Do becomes acknowledgement. If you say yeah, then it is like plural, then it will be bekommt. Anyone knows acknowledgement? Okay, it's Anerkennung. Okay, what about the next one? Can you try? You get old. How do you say this one?
You get old.
Yeah.
You get old. Hast du
No,
hast du all?
please be careful. So you are saying a sentence. In a sentence, the verb will be at the second position ideally. So why are you placing hast at the first position?
Okay, I thought it is a question. Du hast all?
But you know what the sentence is saying, right? You get old. For example,
Yeah.
with time you get old.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you cannot say it with the knowledge that you have learned so far. That is, I think, clear to
Okay.
you now, right? Even though in English you are using the same verb, get, So for these two, you could have said becomes, right? Bekommen. Here, you know that you cannot use bekommen. It's something new that you have to learn. Okay? If you read, for example, you get old, he gets tired, she is getting stronger, or she is becoming stronger. In these three sentences, you see there is a change, right? There is a change in state of someone, right? So you get old, change in state of your body. He gets tired, also change in state of your mood, change in state of your energy. She is getting strong. There is a change in state. Okay, here there was no change in state. I mean, so whenever you want to say things like this, you have to use the verb werden. Okay. Anyone knows the conjugation table for werden? Okay. Also, if you look at the next four sentences, I will learn German, you will be 28, I will become an investor, I want to become an investor. Okay, let's focus on the first three sentences. Here you are expressing a wish in the future, like, or how something will be in the future. For example, I will be 28. For example, let's say I am 27 years eight now. Tomorrow is my birthday, so tomorrow I will be 28. Right? Makes sense? Okay. If not makes sense, please let me know. I hope it makes sense. Yeah. So how do you say all these things? Again, now here, in these three sentences, there's a change in state. Here you are expressing something that is going to happen in the future. So far you have learned how to say things in present tense. You know how to say things in past tense. Okay. Today you will learn how to say things in future tense. So Sivamani, I think you were reading, right? Can you please read all the sentences on the right and read slowly so that you remember also the verb conjugations?
Ich bekomme ein E-Mail.
Yeah.
Du bekommst Anerkennung.
Okay. I don't know who was reading, who gave me the first two answers. Maybe that person can read. I did not see the name. I apologize.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was reading.
Yep. Please continue.
You get old. Du
You don't
wirst
have to. You
alt.
don't have to read the English one. Just read the German one from the beginning. Ich bekomme. Yeah.
Ich bekomme eine E-Mail. Du bekommst Anerkennung. Du wirst alt. Er wird müde. Sie wird stärker. Ich werde Deutsch lernen. Du wirst 28. Ich werde ein Investor. Ich will ein Investor werden.
Okay. Here, in these three sentences, you get old, he starts, she's getting stronger. You are using the verb werden, and that's it, because the object is just an adjective, right? Old is alt, tired is müde. These are adjectives, right? Stronger is stärker, right? Strong is stark. Uh, Stronger is stärker. For example, good is gut, better is besser. Like good, better, best. For example. Schwach, schwächer, weak, weaker, right? Something like that. Okay. Lecker, leckerer, tasty, tastier, something like that. But what you see is that at the second position, you have this wirst, wird. This is nothing but the verb werden. Okay. So now you learn a new verb, werden. You learn the six modal verbs, you can use them in many different ways. Similarly, you also have to learn to use the verb werden. Okay. So ich werde, conjugation is ich werde, du wirst, sie es wird, and for ihr it will be werdet, and then for everything else it will be just werden. Okay. Now let's look at the next three sentences. I will learn German, or the next, or this one. I will learn German. I will become an investor. Okay. Let's look at only this one. I will learn German. So you are saying something in future. See how I'm writing. I'm saying ich, then I'm using the verb werden, and I'm conjugating it for ich, and I'm saying whatever the object is, and towards the end, whatever the main verb was. For example, if I want to say I want to learn German, how if I want to say I want to learn German, how will I say it?
Ich will Deutsch lernen.
Ich will Deutsch lernen, right? Ich will Deutsch lernen. Okay. But here, instead of saying want to, you are saying I will, like in future. So instead of wollen, you are using the verb werden, and you are conjugating it for the subject ish. Okay. And the other verb, the main verb, you are leaving it as it is, and it is at the last position. Okay. At the last position. The next sentence, you will be 28. Now you will say how to say this. So instead of writing, so let me just write this. If I want to say I am, if you want to say you are 27, right, years old, so you will say du bist 27 Jahre alt. Okay. I hope it makes sense. Now if I want to write you will be 28, okay? Now if you notice, you are 27, you just use the verb design for that is like to be or to are. You will be 28. Now you are saying something in future. Similarly, so what you have to say is you will say do, and the verb to be will be at the last position. Just like here, I will learn German. So learn was at the last position. Here to be will be at the last position, right? And to be is sein, right? Then at the second position you will have the verb werden. For do it is wirst. Okay, and whatever the object is, this makes sense. Du wirst 28 sein. In exam, you have to write like this: Du wirst 28 sein. In real life, people will just say Du wirst 28. That's it. They will skip this part. Not always, okay? Only for this special scenario when you're talking about age. Okay? I hope it made sense what I'm saying. Then this sentence, I will become an investor, Now you will say, okay, here it was, will become an investor. You are expressing of, you have to think of this. I will become an investor as a, you are saying what you will be in the future, So ich werde ein Investor. Of course, you can write sein, here, like ich werde ein Investor sein. You don't have to write. In exam, write, but in real life, you don't have to. When you ask a kid, what do you want to become? You can, the kid will just say, ich werde ein Astronaut. Of course, he will say it. He or she can say, ich werde ein Astronaut sein, but you don't have to have the sein. Okay, what I'm saying. Only for sein you can leave it. Then this next one, I know this slide will confuse you a lot, but it will become clear, but try to pay attention. Here I'm saying I want to become an investor. So I'm using want. So of course I will have the modal verb. Okay. And the other verb is to become. Okay. To become, we just learned, to become. Do you want to say to become? You will have to say werden. So werden is at the last position. Here werden is behaving like a normal verb. If you have any questions, please ask.
In the last two sentences, ich werde ein Investor. So ein. In the both sentences we have used ein. So
Yeah, because when you use, good question. So when you use the verb werden, like when werden is the main verb in a sentence, here also the werden is the main sentence here as well. When we know that when we use modal verb, the modal verb is not the main verb, the other verb is the main verb. And when we use werden, the object will be nominative. So whenever you use sein, heißen, or werden, the object will be nominative. So investor is nominative. I'm talking about myself. Let's say if I was a woman, I would have said ich werde eine Investorin. Ich will eine Investorin werden. Does that answer your question, Rishabh?
yeah.
Yeah. More questions. Okay. So let's look at this, Again, I have highlighted the scenarios, like there are two scenarios. One is this one, the red one. Here you are just describing a change, like du wirst alt, you will be, like there is a change, right? There is a change. And the blue ones, you're talking about future. Okay, you're talking about future. So these two are becoming, changing, and these, like, these 5 sentences are about becoming or changing, and these 2 sentences are talking about future. If you notice what is happening over, here, like as I said, what Rishabh just asked, investor, they are in nominative case. So whenever you have use the verb werden, sein, or heißen, okay? Let me just write it so that you don't forget. Sein, heißen, werden. The object will be in nominative case. Okay, remember this. Okay, sein, heißen, werden. Object will be in nominative case. Okay. Any questions, guys? Okay. How do you practice the verb werden? So you have, this is how you practice, ich werde sie kennenlernen. Okay, so you are saying I will get to know someone, right? And you're talking about in future. Okay, so kennenlernen is get to know, and the object, like someone. So she, him, it. I mean, I will get to know myself. If you go on a retreat, you in plural, uns is like us, euch is like you in plural. I think I've written euch twice for some reason. I don't know, it's a mistake. This z is plural. This z is also plural. This is inform. This z is like they. It's like third party. This capital Z is plural, but or singular, but formal. Okay. Ich werde. Now this one here, it is dative. Notice. So here if you notice, here in this the top sentence here, the objects are in that accusative case, and here the objects are in dative case. Again, here the objects are in accusative case, and here the objects are in dative case. If you notice, right, z becomes ihr, ihn becomes ihm. Okay, s also becomes ihm. For example, z becomes ihnen. Okay, this tells you that when you use werden to describe something about future, when you want to use werden to frame a sentence in future tense, whether the object is accusative, dative, or nominative depends on this verb. Okay, so kennenlernen, it's kind of like accusative, and helfen is dative, which we know for sure. Any questions what I just said? Please ask any kind of questions. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that when werden is used along with another verb, okay, when werden is used along with another verb, you can treat it as a modal verb. What I'm trying to, whenever you use a modal verb, right? When you, like, for example, instead of like ich werde, if you want to say ich will, or ich kann, or ich muss, then whether the object is nominative, accusative, or dative depends on the other verb, right? So that's what I'm saying. When werden is used along with another verb, you can treat it as a modal verb when trying to answer is the object in dative or accusative case. So this slide is helping you understand when you use werden along with another verb, and the other verb is at the last position and werden is at the second position. Werden is being conjugated, the other verb will be in its infinitive format. Then whether the object is dative or accusative or whatever nominative, if you want to answer that, think instead of werden, if you were using a modal verb, what would it be? Or you just think this as the main verb, and with this main verb, what will the object be? Any questions?
Yeah, if I have both werden and modal verb in a sentence, like I will have to study, I will have to go. So
Yeah, that is higher level, but you will say ich muss studieren, ich werde studieren müssen. Even then, you will, for example, it will be like, it's kind of higher level. We'll do it right
exactly,
now.
that's my question. If I say ich muss studiere
Yeah, so
werden or ich werde.
no, ich werde studieren müssen. So here, ich werde studieren müssen. Yeah, no, your question is like, if there is an object, right? For example, let's say I will have to hand over the laptop, okay, or I will have to pay you, give you money. Okay, let's say something, I will have to give you the book. Okay, let's use a better example. So ich werde geben müssen. Okay, now what are you giving? Book. Okay, so book is here. Now book is actually, like it's a neutrum, so das is fine. But let's say if it was Vertrag, then again, geben is still the main verb, right? So it will be den. Makes sense, Rishabh? Or have I confused you more?
No, it's fine. I understand.
Okay. Yeah. So same thing. I mean, so what will happen is that, like, normally, the logic is check. Let me write this. So if I write ich muss, then Vertrag geben. Okay. This is when you have two verbs, modal verb and another verb. Now you want to say things in future. So to say things in future, you have to use the verb werden. Okay, and werden for ish is wirst. So at the second position, you can have only one verb. Now muss has to go somewhere. Where can it go? It cannot stay here. Okay, so muss, it cannot stay here. So you already have geben over here, right? So muss will come and sit here. But you cannot conjugate two verbs in the same sentence. So muss will not be conjugated anymore. It will be in infinitive format. Okay, that's it. Make sense?
It should be ich werde den Vertrag geben müssen
Yes.
or ich wirst.
Ich werde, sorry, ich werde. I apologize. Ich werde, yeah, correct. Ich werde den Vertrag geben müssen. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, any questions about this, guys? What I want you to do is, I want you to, by now you are already writing sentences in German about daily life. Now I want you to, so you may have written like, whatever you have written, now try to write the same sentences in future tense. So you will have to use the verb werden. Okay, it's not that difficult. Just think of werden as a modal verb, that's it, and frame the sentences. This is the homework. So let's talk about these prepositions. Anyone wants to tell me what they mean? And you can give me an example with respect to time. Rishabh?
Yeah. Bis means until. We can say
Bis or till,
I'll
until
give.
or till, yeah.
Yeah. Über means
Example, give me
above.
example, please. Bis, like think of an example.
Yeah.
Bis helpful,
I can
that's an
say.
example.
Yeah, we can say bis Montag.
Yeah, bis Montag, yeah, till Monday, yeah.
Yeah. Like übermorgen.
No, übermorgen is one word, it's a noun. Übermorgen is like day after tomorrow. You can say über eine Stunde, like how long the meeting will last,
Yeah.
over an
Yeah.
hour, über eine Stunde, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We can say 17 Uhr.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Next one.
Ab. I can say ab. Like something which is happening onwards through. Like we can say ab Donnerstag.
Yeah.
On.
How do you say
I'm not
on
sure about.
Monday? How do you say on someday, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday? You say
Montag.
right? So, but here you see an. You say because an is dative, and Montag is, then it becomes an dem Montag, and an dem you
Yeah.
write it as That's why. So I hope you get the logic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next one.
Okay. Seit means since.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like ich lebe in das seit 5 Jahren.
Yeah. Not labor. But to be fair, you
Lebe.
don't say labor. You use the verb wohne.
Wohnen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
Vor means before,
Yeah. Before.
and nach means after. For means before, like we can say someday, like before Sunday or
Yeah. For
before you.
Sonntag. Yeah. Or like,
Yeah.
we have to finish the meeting before 5 p.m. From
Yeah.
4. Yeah, for 17
Yeah.
Uhr. Nach is after. Okay. Thank you very much. What you see is that I said, these are called as temporale Präpositionen. Temporale means like something with respect to time. So these prepositions you can use. When I say time, does not time, like the watch hours. It also means like day. Okay. It need not just be time. Okay. So, Rishabh, can you read the sentences at the bottom, please?
Sure. We have them 2 Oktober, ab dem 2 Oktober, an dem 2 Oktober, seit dem 2 Oktober, vor dem 2 Oktober, nach dem 2 Oktober.
So if you notice, right, October is So in I'm not sure whether just check whether it is masculine or neutrum. I'm getting confused right now. Just check, but it's definitely not feminine. So whether it is masculine or neutrum, the definite article will be them. Now here you notice I'm saying zweiten. Okay, here you have en. Remember adjective endings. Whenever it is plural, whenever it is dative, okay, it is n, adjective ending. So here this is an adjective. Okay, zweiten. Okay, what I'm saying, when you use these prepositions and when you have an article or you have a adjective, it will be in, whatever comes after these prepositions will be in dative case. And if you happen to use an article or an adjective, be careful. Then these ones, please read, Rishabh, the 3 or 4 sentences over here.
All right. Bis 1 Uhr, bis
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
über eine Stunde, 10 Uhr.
Okay. Here it does not, like, you don't see whether it is accusative, like, über eine Stunde is feminine, so, eine Stunde. What you know is, let's understand that, whenever you use these sentences, these prepositions, be careful. If you use an article or you use an adjective, they will be in accusative case. Okay, so you have to use the accusative article and the adjective endings in accusative case. What I wanted to focus is the first 2 sentences, bis 1 Uhr and bis 1. Okay, what I'm saying is that whenever you say bis, if you're saying till 1 a.m. or 1 p.m., whatever can be, here I'm not saying Uhr, so I'm saying eins. Okay, so what in the slide I had written, like, just to show off, I'll tell you when to use which one. So whenever you're talking about time, and here, when you use the noun Uhr, then it will be ein. When you don't use the noun Uhr, it will be eins. Okay, in exam, be careful. I don't know if teachers still bother students with these questions, but just so that you know. Okay, so when you use Uhr, it will be ein. When you don't use Uhr, it will be eins. Okay, only with this one there is this thing. Yeah. Any questions?
My Uber is feminine, isn't it?
Uhr?
So is it like Uber is
Uhr is not feminine. No, it's just one. Uhr is like here. It's not about feminine or something like that. I'm sure, and definitely, I'm pretty sure Uhr is it feminine? Okay, yeah, the Uhr.
I
You're
thought
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are
it's
right.
Uhr.
Yeah, Uhr. But here it is something else. It's not about that Uhr that you have on your hand or what you have on the wall. This is something else.
okay,
Like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., something like that.
okay,
Yeah, and not AM, PM. It's just that when you're talking about time, you have to use
okay.
Uhr in German. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Most welcome. More questions? Okay. Remember that these are accusative temporale Präpositionen and these are dative temporale Präpositionen. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, one question.
Yeah, again.
Sorry, here could you please tell me again the Uber eine Stunde means actually what?
Over an hour
Over
or
an hour.
around 1 hour. Like how long will the meeting last? Über eine Stunde.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Über eine
okay,
Stunde. Yeah.
okay, okay. Then or means at 10
Yeah.
o'clock, correct?
At 10 o'clock.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah. Most welcome. Most welcome. More questions? Okay. Now homework for you is, uh, I can give you exercises like, stupid exercises where you get to practice, like writing these prepositions and like, then checking whether accusative or dative. What you can do is, you have, this was I think one of the homework where I told you to write about your day and then divide that day into like half an hour, like if you wake up at 7 a.m. then write whatever happens from 7 to 7:30 and then what happens from 7:30 to 8 and so on. You go on till the time you go to sleep. Let's say if you sleep at 10 a.m. so the last slot will be 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. right? And now what you can do is, like you can think, for example, today right now you can check, you all have calendar meetings and all. Check what kind of meetings you have and then write, you know, um, for example, 7:30 habe ich ein Meeting. Das Meeting dauert über eine Stunde. Das Meeting geht bis 9:30, right? Das neues Meeting habe ich 10 Uhr, right? And then ich arbeite an einem Projekt seit, like since whenever. Okay. Yeah. For example, I have to send my boss an email for, like before like 5 p.m. Ich muss mein Chef eine E-Mail schreiben, also ich muss vor 17 Uhr muss ich meinen Chef eine E-Mail schicken. Okay, something like that. So write about your day instead of doing some random exercises. Yeah. Of course, if you have a book, those are not random exercises. If you're preparing for an exam, it's okay. So what I just told you, it's for those people who have already passed the exam or who have no intention of preparing for exams. For those who have an exam, do these exercises from the book of the examination authority. So if you're preparing for Gyothe, go where I think in A2 you will find a chapter where they talk about this and they will have exercises on that. So do those exercises, okay? They are much more better than doing the exercises about what I just said. So do a kind of exercises one for exam, do from the book. Not interested in giving exam or don't have to give exam, do what I just said. Yeah. Let me see what the time is. Okay, 1 second. I think we covered the topics for today. Okay, I will have to unshare my screen and then I will have to find the exercises. Until then, if you have any questions, please ask. Any kind of questions? Okay, so these exercises are not completely related to what we just learned today, but this is just to tell you how you can, like some sentences which seem very simple, but you can use them in a, you can use them in daily life, but I'll tell you how you can use one sentence to learn many things. Okay, so thumbs up so that I know you can see the screen. Guys, thumbs up so that I know you can. Okay, thank you. This sentence, I have feelings. Anyone who wants to tell me how I can say this in German?
Ich habe das Gefühl.
Rishabh, this is A2. How you are saying plural and you are saying das. At least don't make this mistake.
Sorry.
Plural is the.
Ich habe das Gefühl.
Yeah, but I'm not using like. Do you ever say like you don't say I have the feelings, right? You just say I have feelings. Something bad happens and you say man, I have feelings. I get hurt. So it will just be the noun, right? Not the article. So
Right.
Again, one more time without the article.
Ich habe Gefühle.
Yeah, ich habe Gefühle, right? Ich habe Gefühle. Now, again, grammar is obvious, like at the second position, but you need not be Gefühle. You can write so many things over here. Okay, what you can do is look around your room and think of every object that is lying in your room. Okay, and just start writing. Ich habe Gefühle, ich habe Tisch, ich habe laptop, and think whether an article makes sense or not. You don't need to use articles all the time. For laptop, you can say, ich habe ein Laptop. Okay. Ich habe eine Wohnung. So you can write all the objects that are lying around in your room. Okay. Like in your room right now, then the hall, then the kitchen, and then you can move on to office and whatever nouns you have. This is how you practice. Yes, next one. Please raise your hand if you want to answer. Yes, please, Richard.
Wir arbeiten in einer Gruppe.
In einer Gruppe, right? So Rishabh, the answer is correct. So when you use in, I told you in is a, okay, I'm not sure if I told you or not, but now that you learn, in is a preposition and in is a dative kind of preposition. It's actually like dative and it's like Wechsel preposition, but here it is dative. So Gruppe is feminine, so einer becomes einer. Okay, wir arbeiten. In einer Gruppe. Any questions? Okay. Now instead of arbeiten, you can say many things, right? We, we. Okay, I can't think of examples, but what I'm saying is that try to think instead of group, if you can write, community, right? Gesellschaft. So Gesellschaft. Gesellschaft is, I think, der Gesellschaft. Wir arbeiten in einem Gesellschaft. Just checked. Now the shaft is the, I believe. Just check. Yeah. This one. Do you see it? Yeah. I choose a picture. How do I say I choose a picture? Please raise your hand if you want to answer or if you want to try to answer. Guys, don't try to, even if you don't know the entire answer, I'm here to help you. But at least you have to give me at least one wrong answer. Here, Rohini, please.
Ich wähle das Bild aus.
Yes. So you're saying ich wähle das Bild aus. So she, but you said das. It is a, right? So I mean your sentence is right. I was looking for indefinite article. So ein Bild. Ich wähle ein Bild aus. I don't try to read. Let me explain what is there on the slide. And here I have also written the sentence ich wähle ein Bild. So she used the verb auswählen, and I can also use the verb wählen as it is. She used trennbare Verb, auswählen. I'm using wähle, not just a normal verb. But there has to be a difference, right? If there are two different verbs to say the same thing, there must be some difference, right? It's a language. If they are using two different verbs, there must be some difference in those two verbs, right? So what is the difference between or when to use wählen and when to use auswählen? Again, it's not innate to, no one is expecting you to know all these things. In exam they will never ask, but if you want to continue learning, this is, you have to have this curiosity. So where you use wählen when you have unlimited options, and when you use auswählen when you have limited options. For example, if you come to my house, I will offer you pizza, chips, and maybe one more dish, right? Then you have to use uh, auswählen. Then you will say ich wähle Pizza aus. Okay, but let's say again, it need not be, when I say unlimited, it need not be infinity options. It can be just like, for you it is too much. For example, I normally, when I, let's say if I go to buy something in the shop, like normally there are so many clothes, right? I personally like less options. When I go and I say, man, ich kann nichts auswählen, Eh, for example, if I say ich kann nichts auswählen, it doesn't make sense because in my head the options are unlimited. They are not limited. So I have to use wählen. Again, no one is going to grab your neck if you use them interchangeably, but just understand there is a difference between the two. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Okay. Wählen, unlimited options. Auswählen, limited options. Here, this one. Yes, please, Rohini, if you can try.
Das Kind das Kind ist in dem Bild.
So your sentence is correct, but there's one correction.
Das Kind ist auf dem Bild.
Yeah, yeah. So I know, this is where it makes people get angry at German language, but that's how it is. There are special scenarios, and this is why we are having this session. So I tell you that these are exceptions. Okay, these are exceptions. Normally, when you see in, go for in, but here when you talk about picture, you say auf dem Bild. And now, how, just to tell you why it is, when you are saying in and why don't you use in? Picture is 2D. Okay, so something cannot be inside the picture. It can be on the picture. You know what I'm saying? A picture is 2D, right? So, and when something is 2D, the third dimension is not there. Again, this is my logic. It may not, your German language teacher may differ from me, but this is my understanding. When you have a picture is 2D. A picture on a wall is 2D. So there cannot be third dimension. So there cannot be something inside it. So it has to be on the picture. Like the picture, the kid's photo will be on the picture. So on is auf. Make sense? Please ask if not. Okay.
But generally, auf means on, right?
Yeah, it's on. It's on. Yeah. So in English is dumb. I mean, German is smart for me. Okay, this is how I think of it. So in English we just say, in the picture, but it cannot be in the picture, right? It can be on the picture, because picture is 2D.
Got it.
You are,
Thank you.
yeah, you can say in them built, it's fine, it's not a problem. You can say it, but the correct way to say it is of them built, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, you can say in them built, it's fine. Yeah. I see a man in the picture. Yes, Rohini, how do I say this one?
Ich sehe ein Mann auf dem Bild.
Ein Mann or einen Mann?
Oh, sorry. Einen Mann,
Yes.
einen Mann auf dem Bild.
Yes, that's correct. Ich sehe einen Mann auf dem Bild. Okay, any questions? Okay. Yes, Rohini, continue. Let's.
Was du sieht auf dem Bild?
When you use
Was
was,
du
don't
siehst,
forget the verb is at the second position. So one more time.
Was siehst du auf dem Bild?
Okay. Now again, it's very good that you are answering, others are not answering. But because you are answering, I have to make sure that you improve your German faster. When you answer now, so here, when you're speaking, you had like you were thinking in this like this. This should not happen. This is why you have to practice. So
Okay.
so now you know how to say like do these. So when you have to say in real life, say it faster. Or how can you say it faster? Only if you have practiced before, right? So whichever kind of whichever kind of scenarios you have in daily life where you have to speak German, before think beforehand, right? What kind of interactions take place over there? We think our lives are dynamic. They are not, at least from Monday to Friday. So the same kind of conversations happen every time. Okay, so write down what kind of conversation is happening and see how you can say those things in German. Not everything, at least few things. Okay, 10 sentences that you can use in a specific scenario. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
most welcome. So was ist auf dem Bild? Yeah, continue please, Rohini.
Was ist
Come on. If instead of what
sorry.
is he doing, I would have written what does he do, then what would I have said? What is the main verb?
Okay, do is was must do.
Correct.
Was must do.
Correct. Was must do.
Do.
Yeah. So, or but here it is he. So was marked er.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Rishabh, you can continue speaking. Yeah. Rishabh, you want to answer? Okay, he does not want to answer.
Yeah. Was singt er?
Was singt er? Okay. So now you're thinking you have the verb is and you have the verb singing. Okay, I told you in the very first A1 lecture, like this is A2, but I also told you I don't know if I told you, in German in present tense you have only one case. In English we have simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and so on, right? So this is kind of like present continuous. In German there is nothing like that. It's just present tense. So you think whatever the main verb is, and that is your verb. Okay. So I think some people will try to say was ist singt. It's wrong. The main verb is singing, and for singing it is singen. So you write singen, and the subject is er. So for er, the singen becomes singt. Okay. Yes, Rishabh, continue. Rishabh, what happened? It should not take this long.
Yeah, just a second. It should be was sind sie?
I just told you. Yeah.
Was machen die Menschen?
Was machen die Leute? You can say mention as well, but mention is like no one talks like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Was machen die Leute?
Or person. If you say mensch, it's kind of like what are the humans doing? No one talks like that. No one says what are the humans doing in the room? Was machen die Leute? Was machen die Personen? Okay. Yes, guys, we have only 15 minutes left. Today I have some other meeting at 8:30. So we will have to not end, but we will Before we do that, Rohini, I think you have shared your slide. You had a question, right? You have shared your slides with me. Do you mind if you discuss this in
Yes.
the round?
Yeah, I have no problem.
Okay, then we can do that so that others can also learn. Let me unshare and then I will share again. Until then, if you have any questions, please ask. I will not need 2 minutes to get her slides. Okay, I have found the slides. Let me share again. So I think you all can see the slide. So yeah, I'm not that old. Please call me Rohit. Yes, so yeah. Your question is, I have a query in a sentence that I came across. Wenn Sie frei sind, schreiben Sie mir. My query is in the above sentence. Why mir is used and not mich? My understanding is dative pronoun comes with dative verbs and certain preposition. The above statement does not have both. So yeah, her question is, let me just make this a little bit smaller. Okay, now it's much better. So for anyone to see, this is the sentence. Wenn Sie frei sind, schreiben Sie mir. She is asking, why are we using mir and why are we not using mich? Sorry, my question is like, why are we using mir and not mich? So her question is, why is it dative? And she's saying it cannot be dative because the object is dative. Either you have a dative preposition or you have a dative verb. Okay, so her question is, schreiben is not a dative verb. Okay, and there is no preposition over here which is dative, so it should be mich. Her logic is, how do you say, it's not wrong but it's not complete. Okay, anyone wants to help us understand why her logic is not complete? So she is saying schreiben is not a dative verb and there is also no preposition here before mir, then it cannot be mir, it has to be mich, accusative. And I'm saying it is correct. Can someone help us understand the complete logic why it is mir? No one? Okay.
Actually, the action verb is here schreiben. So if something is physically being written here, so if we put the mish in the last, in, like on instead of me, then the accusative case means that it's mish is a direct object. So it
Yes,
tells us that we have to read me. I think.
yes. So when the verb, Rishabh, what you just said is completely right, So when you use the verb, let's say I say ish, okay? Now this is a little bit difficult to explain, but very easy to understand. I'm saying it is difficult to explain, but easy to understand. If you get the logic, you get the logic. You cannot explain. So when you use the verb schreiben, every verb has a direct object and an indirect object. So schreiben is not a dative verb. Actually, there is nothing called as dative verb. It's just something we make up, to make our life easier. So schreiben, when you use schreiben, there can be multiple objects, but the direct object will be what is being written. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it's like a mail or something like that.
yeah, right. So yeah,
Okay.
and let's say you don't want to talk about whatever the direct object is, okay? Then whatever any other object will be, like you are writing something to someone,
Okay.
right? That will be indirect object.
Okay.
Okay.
So in my sentence, there is no direct object. So we can directly use a dative verb, dative pronoun there.
Yeah, because it is the indirect object.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very difficult to. It comes with practice. It's something like, for example,
But in
One
many
more thing.
German sentences, there will not be any direct object. So in those cases, do we have to assume and write a dative pronoun here,
not
like this?
pronoun. It can be something else as well. For example, instead of let's say wenn sie frei sind, let's say when you write this, when the phrase in, you want to say, then you have to write a letter to the government. The government is not a pronoun,
Yeah.
right? So, but it will still be in dative case.
Okay. To
Okay, so it
whom
will be like
you are
their,
writing letter to whom? So it is government.
yeah, something like that. Schreiben Sie die Regierung. Okay, their Regierung, because die Regierung becomes their Regierung in dative case. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So something like for example, I had a friend. Uh, like he was teaching me guitar, and then like he, for example, like sometimes he used to tell me like Rohit, play something, play something for me. He used to say something like this, spiel mir was. Okay, now he is saying spiel mir was. He's not saying spiel mich. Okay, actually spiel means to play him, which will sound very wrong. So he's saying spiel die Gitarre mir. Actually,
Okay,
he's
got
saying like
it.
play the guitar for me, something like that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the indirect object is direct object is an assumption here. So we have to put a dative.
Yeah. Or you can think
Got
of it in another like, and it's not, again, what I'm saying is not complete, but it will help you in many ways. If I say schreiben Sie blah blah, you will say, okay, whom am I supposed to write? Home. Home is dative.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Yeah. This is not complete logic. Many places it will not help you, but
Hmm.
learning a language is like, you learn, you make mistake, then you learn again, something like that.
Okay.
It's like swimming. You learn, you make mistake, then you learn. Yeah. Okay, I hope I answered your question. It's a good question. Many people get
Yes.
confused, but yeah, guys, you have to do it. She shared slides. If you have questions, you can share your slide. You can create a slide and you can share it with the email address practicalgermanteacher@gmail.com, and then you can write your questions. You can also write your homework. So what I can something like, we'll not do this today. So you can do something like this. Every day, like divide the slide into 4 pages and write nouns, verbs, adjectives, and phrases. And you can write, and you can I can have a look at them, and we can like whatever, because instead of, if you're preparing for an exam, learn from the book, the vocabulary. But if you don't want to give exam or don't care to give exam, learn the nouns that you may use in your daily life and write them. Okay, and then we can learn from your verbs and your nouns. Okay. Yes, do this vocabulary thing as well. Yes. Rohini, today I think you're answering all the questions. So if you don't mind, you can start reading the nouns and see if you can give me the meanings.
Der Aufzug is lift.
Yeah.
Die Aufzüge, die Strecke, die Strecken. Strecke, I'm not sure of the meaning.
Whenever you're driving, and then like you see that, like they say Strecke gesperrt. Strecke it literally means stretch, but like stretch of road or stretch of something. Strecke means stretch, like you'll see this
Track,
Strecke gesperrt, something like blocked, or something like that, locked. Yeah.
track or route.
Yeah, track or road. You can also say that. Yeah.
Thus, Verkehrsmittel is public transport. Die Kohle, I don't know.
There are two meanings. One is, in gas turbines, you have to burn something to boil the water. What are you burning right now? What do you burn? The world is experiencing global warming because we are burning
Coal.
coal. Also,
Okay, cool.
this is cola means coal. Cola also has one more meaning. In English, when we talk about money, you can say money or you can say bucks. Do you have $5? Okay. Similarly, in German, we also have things like this. Cola also means money, but not like 5 cola or something, no, 5 cola. Sometimes, again, in exam, not relevant, but you may encounter this in real life. Sometimes when friends are talking this, they say, yeah, they had feel cola. He has like a lot of money. Cola also thinks, it's a very, how do you say, not so formal way of talking about money. Like cola also means money. Like feel cola.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continue.
Der See, die Seen, See is lake.
Yeah. Very good.
Der Fluss, die Flüsse is river. Das Meer, die Meere, Mir is C.
Yeah.
Der Ozean, die Ozeane, this is ocean. Das Ziel, die Ziele. Zeal, I'm not sure what this is.
You know, in life, everybody must have something to, you know, like when you, if you are working, you have every 6 months you have this meeting with your boss, right? Where you discuss your blah blah for the 6 months. What is that?
It's performance.
Goal.
Oh yeah, almost there. Something that you have
Target.
to achieve.
Goal or target.
Goal. Yeah. Goal. Yeah. Or target. Yeah. Continue.
Die Tankstelle, die Tankstellen. This is gas station.
Yeah.
Gas station.
Where you
Der-
gas, like where you tank your car or something like that. Yeah.
Der Wagen. Wagen is coach.
It can also mean your car.
Oh, okay.
I mean, auto is also fine, but wagon is like, you know, like a general way of discussing, you know.
Vehicle.
Vehicle also you can say. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Now please read the verbs if you don't. Anyone wants to read the verbs, or else Rohini will continue.
Okay, I
Yeah,
can try.
like
Karthikeyan, you can. I don't know who just said. So apart from
yeah,
Karthikeyan, Karthikeyan, you can read. And I don't know
yeah,
who
yeah.
else
I will
said.
read.
You
I
can read
think
the first.
yeah, I think Rishabh told. I think fine. Everything is fine.
Okay. Yeah, Rishabh, you can go. Did Rishabh? I think it was someone else's voice, right?
Yeah.
It was
I
someone
was
else's.
Akash.
Yeah, Akash, you can
Yeah.
read, please.
Okay. So please don't mind if the background voice coming because
No
I'm not
problem.
having my headphone. Okay.
There is no noise. It's fine.
Installation.
Yeah.
So the first is installation.
Yeah, you should read it properly. Installieren. You see E-R-N.
Installation.
Yeah. Meaning is obvious.
Installation is the installation
Yeah, to install.
to install. Äußern.
Yeah.
It's outside. It's related to the outside.
No, it's a verb, so it
Äußern.
cannot be. Äußern, it does not mean that. You know, sometimes you have to, you know, like when you are, you know, let's say you have some opinions or something to say, you must, you know, let them out, right? You must give them a passage, or you must tell what you think, you know, or just like, you know, give your opinion. That is something like äußern. Okay.
Äußern. Okay.
Yeah.
Mieten
Yeah.
is rent.
Not rent. These are verbs, so you have like the one, like mieten is to rent.
Okay, to rent.
Yeah. So this list is for
Vermieten.
verbs. Yeah.
Vermieten.
Yeah.
It's like
I think it's obvious, right?
to
The guy
give
who
them.
takes the money. Yeah.
Okay.
The landlord.
And überweisen.
Yeah.
I think the call is going to be end now.
Yeah, but you can continue. It's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Überweisen is like transfer.
Yeah. Transfer.
To transfer.
Yeah.
Zurückgeben is to give back.